The trailer for Lee Cronin's Mummy film just launched, and yeah, this is disgusting. This is creepy, terrifying. This is an aberration. And it doesn't seem like this is even a mummy film. Now, when I first saw this trailer, some idiot online, posted it under the guise of it being the Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz Mummy movie that's supposed to come out in 2 years. That's been announced too. So I thought that's what this was. But no, I started watching the trailer. I'm like, wait, there's no way this is anything to do with Brendan Fraser's Mummy. Brendan Fraser's Mummy, it's like, I think kids can watch that. But this ain't your parents' mummy film. This is like literal filth. Little girls are looking incredibly demonic. If you know me, if you're a fan of my channel, smiling brunettes in the dark that look demonic are very scary to me. That's like the biggest horror archetype of my life. That's like stuff of my nightmares. Now, a lot of people find little kids that are haunted very scary too. I've never been someone who's found little girls scary. There's one exception to this, and that's when you get movies like this. Movies that literally take the innocence of a little child, twist it, bend it, turn it dilapidated and disgusting, the most demonic thing you've ever seen, and just make it some really weird shit. It's like, it's unnervingly odd the way these chicks move. So if you do that with a little girl, yeah, chances are it's gonna be really disturbing, man. Let's break down this trailer, shall we? It starts off with these parents getting a call from the government or whatever law enforcement agency saying, yo, we found your kid. We found your kid in the middle of the desert. So they are shook and so happy that this actually happened, because if their kid, I guess, disappeared in Cairo, Egypt, or whatever. So they go to the hospital, and this very, very creepy doctor tells them, yo, listen, you should prepare yourself for what you're about to see. So they see what has become of their daughter, who's been rotting away underground in a desert somewhere. We start to see little glimpses of her skin and what her body looks like. What happens to a person who has disappeared in the desert for so long? I'll give them credit. The makeup department, they did a fine job. Lee Cronin tends to do a fine job when it comes to makeup and special VFX for demonic-looking females. So we see her nails and all that. Then we see a close-up shot of her mouth. Her teeth going like this. Hell no. Hell no, I'm out of there. Nuke the place from orbit if you have to. So we see a close-up of the teeth. This really does remind me of Evil Dead Rise. The close-ups, the way they're... the twitching, it's the same kind of thing. A demonically possessed female who moves very weirdly. And this is a Lee Cronin film. Of course, those same things apply. So we get this. Producer James Wan and Blumhouse. Now, I'm excited that Blumhouse is behind this. They're hit or miss with some of their movies, but I like most of their films. James Wan, of course, Insidious, Conjuring, blah, blah, blah. I've heard James Wan walked out of the test screening for this film. Interesting. Even though he produced it, which is weird. We're going to get to that, though. Then we see them taking their daughter, their newly found daughter, home, and we see the sister's reaction. She looked shook. She looks terrified. I would not want that thing in my house. I would not want this thing over here anywhere near me. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I was a kid knowing that my sibling was looking like that in the same household as me. Then the dad walks in, seeing his daughter at the end of the stairwell, doing this weird shit again. Demonic exorcist type shit. This looks more like an exorcist film than a mummy film. The girl looking up and disappearing, like, Jesus Christ, bro. We see this shot of a bunch of newspaper clippings. Children are missing all over. This girl, who they found, Katie, is one of them. And I think the dialogue in the trailer says 57 girls have gone missing. And she's the only one alive, maybe? There are scenes, there are shots of them going underground. I guess in the desert in Egypt, they're going underground and they find this weird-looking pyramid. They find these catacombs and tunnels. Yeah, this is right on brand, bro. With the Epstein shit releasing, kids going missing, little girls going missing and taken to this weird place underground where there's some potentially dark occult shit happening. Yeah. Right on brand, right on brand. Then we get a box with a videotape of Katie. Did someone film Katie and film whatever ritual was done to her? Scary stuff. Then we, oh my lord, man, this is gonna make me really cringe hard in the theater out of fear. You see a shot of the mom trying to talk to her daughter, saying, please talk to me, say something. I guess the daughter's silent and twitching throughout the film. I don't like the idea of anyone getting close to this girl right now. And I guarantee that's going to be like one of the main suspense threads that's going to be pulled in this film. We're going to see family members go really close to her and try to talk to her, and it's going to be really creepy, and there's going to be a jump scare of some sort. We see the father walking in, finding scales of flesh and skin. There's a lot, and I can't include it in this video, there's a lot of scenes of Katie, this girl, tearing off her skin. There's a lot of that. This really does remind me of like The Mummy meets The Exorcist meets Bring Her Back, if you've seen that movie. Let me see a shot of the grandmother, right? Getting bitten by Katie. Bitten. I had to censor it because I'll get demonetized if I don't. Following scene, they shouldn't have shown in this trailer. I very much disagree with their choice of showing this scene in the trailer. They shouldn't have done it. Not only does it seem silly and kind of throw off the tone of the trailer you had before, but you're kind of ruining a key moment in the film. So there's a scene where the grandmother just got bit and now the door's closed on her and things are moving in the room. And no one's even touching them. And then she sees the freaking daughter looking like this saying, "It's okay, Grandma. It's fun to be dead." I really wish they didn't do that in the trailer. This does give me the vibes of an Evil Dead Deadite. And that's not the vibe that this movie seems or should be going for from the looks of it. So it kind of comes off goofy compared to the rest of the trailer in tone. But even then, regardless of that, why are you showing such a key moment in the trailer? I would not want to hear this thing speak in the trailer. I would want to wait till to watch the movie to see what this thing sounds like. All right? The grandmother proceeds to get her ass whipped. She's getting choked by some barbed wire chains that are coming out of nowhere. All right? So now this girl we're seeing her supernatural powers come out. What the heck is this? Yeah, she's getting destroyed. Then we see a sandstorm because no mummy film can be done without a sandstorm. A sandstorm hitting a bunch of people. We see a scarab bug coming out of an apple and going into the mom's mouth. A scarab beetle going into a woman's mouth. See, Lee Cronin is touching on all the worst visuals you could possibly have in a horror movie. Yet again, another one of them. The daughter someone's puking into someone's mouth, and I think the daughter is puking into the father's mouth here. And then we see a final scene of the daughter just crawling in a disgusting way. So, what was all that? What the heck did we just see, all right? Let's think about this, all right? I have a theory about what's happening in this film. And to be honest, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. Someone is trying to resurrect an ancient pharaoh, like Imhotep, or trying to find an ancient demonic deity, an Egyptian demon. Trying to get it and put it in a vessel. The vessel being a kid. So they're kidnapping multiple kids to create the perfect vessel, and I'm assuming all of them died except for one, Katie. Katie's the only one who made it out of this experiment alive, and that's why she was allowed to be found by authorities. Underground in this catacomb of tunnels where these dark rituals have been taking place by this cult of some sort, okay? Now, why kids? Kids are often used to be possessed. They're very underdeveloped mentally. They don't have the shields, the psychic shields. They don't have maturity and life experience to figure things out for themselves. They don't have any kind of training religiously or spiritually. They probably have very weak resistance to supernatural things coming at them, right? It's in many ways they're perfect, but for what purpose? We're talking about possession here. See, in the Mummy film, Imhotep was just resurrected. His body was just resurrected into a being of flesh and power. There wasn't really any possession happening. Was there possession in the Mummy films? I don't think so. In Bring Her Back, which is a counterexample, the demon is placed inside of a child through this very complex ritual. I think something like this is happening in the Mummy film, where we need to place a demonic entity inside of a little girl for some kind of purpose. And only a little girl vessel can do it. I have a feeling that this is going to end in a very Exorcist-esque way, where the father is going to try to take the demon from the girl and have it possess him instead. Maybe. Shot of them vomiting into each other's mouths. Maybe the father's getting possessed there. Or maybe the father's trying to take the demon out of his daughter. Who knows? Either way, this is giving me a lot of Exorcist vibes. And you know what? I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Because a lot of people are saying this doesn't feel like a Mummy movie, though. It looks cool, it looks scary, but it doesn't feel like a Mummy movie, though. I'm kind of glad. Because guess what? If you want a Mummy movie, you got one coming out in 2028 with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. They're going to give you the old kind of Mummy movie you like to see. This is just straight up horror. Rumor has it that the test screening for this was horrible. Like, it was really, really bad. James Wan literally walked out. I have no idea what to say about any of this. It's also odd that the producer of the film would walk out on his own film. Maybe he just wasn't happy with the current edit of the film and was like, no, this needs to be cleaned up. I don't know how much the film has changed since his test screening. Maybe it's changed a lot. Maybe it's changed enough. Who knows? But I've also heard, equally, that there are people who have seen the movie that says it's very, very good. This is one to watch out for. I hate the idea of test screenings, personally. Because even though on a business level they're needed to test things out with audiences, I just am a fan of a person, from an artist perspective, I'm a fan of a person being able to show his vision without the need for corporate interference and really honing in closely on what an audience with a low attention span would want, right? That's like the biggest thing with test screenings. Okay, is the audience happy with this? Oh, they didn't like this. Remove it, right? Even in Superman 2025, I think there was a thing in the test screening where they were like, we don't like Superman saving the squirrel. Remove it, right? I just feel like test audiences, the fact that they might be needed on a business level, I'm okay with people showing their full visions full-fledged. The idea of test audiences just ruins the art aspect of things, you know what I'm saying? Plus, who are these test audiences? Most of them are probably dumb and casual audiences, right? So if you're literally appealing to those people, you're going to get a movie that's kind of dumbed down, in my opinion. But that's just me talking smack, because I have no idea what the actual test process and selection pool for this specific test audience was. But, yeah, this trailer looks really creepy. Like, when I was watching it, I was like, the moment they walked in on their daughter in that hospital tent or whatever, and they try to talk to her, and you see the state of her skin and her fingers, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be terrifying. I ain't sleeping after this. Like, this is a hell no. Not as in I'm not going to watch it, but a hell no as in I'm going to be doing this. Yeah. That. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. But the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning. We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.